Lake Monticello, the old fisherman. Back with you again. It's about 10 o'clock. We done had a couple good drops, but we're gonna try another little spot. Bear with me. Tell you what, it is one beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I'll tell you, it's just a good day just to sit out here and enjoy the sunshine on Lake Monticello. I don't like warm weather, but I tell you right now, warm weather is a lot more comfortable than cold weather. The only problem is sometimes the fish don't bite in warm weather. But now we caught a few earlier this morning, and we're gonna see if we can find us another little batch of them. It's funny, the warmer the weather, the less them perch will stay under there and let you hammer them, so they scatter. You start catching a few and you boom, 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 and they gone. So what we doing today, now at this point, is we kind of searching around and trying to get them stirred up again, basically. And but I have got some pretty perch in here already this morning. But you know, it was a flurry, about 15, 20 minutes, and it was over. So I tell you, they don't stay under you. You catch a few of them and then they gone. But I can tell you right now, there's some nice ones yet to catch. There was some nice ones out here biting this morning. Some of the biggest ones I've caught this year. Bit this morning. And I was hoping maybe we could drop back on and stir up another little batch of them and see if we can make them another batch bite. You never know. We're using right now the 2 gulp shrimp and the spoon. There's a bite right there. There's a bite right there. There's a bite right there. Monticello white perch, about a mid-size. I don't think he's real big, but I ain't sure. He's an average size, 3/4 pound. Hit the new penny, gulp shrimp. Oh, he don't want to come loose. That's like it's stuck. Stuck. New penny. All right, Mr. New Penny, drop back down. Let's see if we catch another one of these Monticello white perch. Dog, I tell you, my fish of choice right now. I love catching Monticello white perch. As you all know, I'm the perch man of Monticello. The old fisherman. I tell you, people ask me, they keep saying, well, don't you get tired of fishing? I do get tired, don't get it wrong, but I don't get tired of fishing. Here lately, they're wearing me out. Not getting enough sleep. But hey, it's all in fun, doing what I want to do, enjoying myself and documenting this stuff where I can look back at it one day when I can't fish and I can relive these memories, wonderful memories. If I ever get to the point that I can't go, then I promise you I'll be looking at YouTube at myself. Oh Lord, look at here. Another Monticello slab is what I mean. Another one. Golly, bum. Huh? Look at him. Look at him. 2 Monticello white perch. Pound. One of them's a pound, the other's 3/4 pound. You got to love it. Oh my gosh. You got to love it. I hope y'all like watching me as much as I like catching. Watching me catch them. Look at that thing right there. Hey, that's a nice on old New Penny. Old New Penny got me a nice Monticello white perch. Golly. It's on a Monday. It's a holiday. It's President's Day. President's Day. But you know, I don't see a lot of people must not have off President's Day. I see 2 or 3 boats. It's a few out here. Pretty day like this, you would think. Of course now, hey, people got to work. It's Monday. I'm fortunate enough to be retired and already done my duties of working all these years. So now I'm doing my fishing duties. Monticello. Nope, there was another bite. There was another bump, and I missed it. I tell you, I believe there's some big perch out here if I can just get on them and stay on them. They're moving around too quick, man. They catch a couple, they're gone. Got That's why I like cold weather. And the breeze is starting to pick up a little bit now, so they might pick back up. Who knows? Who knows with these elusive white perch? 1 minute you on them, next minute they gone. You never know. You never, ever can predict exactly what they're gonna do, because they'll fool you. They will fool you. You got to drop on them and catch them, or and when you get on them, you better hammer them, because they won't be there long in this kind of weather. You can get on a flurry of them and catch them, and you think, man, this is gonna be something. Next thing you know, it's like they left the country, can't find them, left the lake. The thing about it is, you can't really find them looking at them on the fish finders. Once you start catching them, they stir up, and that's when you know they're there. I mean, you coming in, like I've showed you on the fish finder, you coming in, you see shad out in there, that's a good sign. But a lot of times you can see them on the fish finder, but most of the time is when you get them stirred up is when you see them. You come in a place, you might see a little bit of something right on the bottom and catch a fish and look back there and they're everywhere. So I'm convinced they're laying out there sleeping, or whatever they do in bed, sleeping. And you stir them up, and they get stirred up when they feed. If they ain't feeding, you can't really even stir them up that much. When they come in and they big groups of yellow and orange and some blues mixed, then that yellow means they're thick, and that means there's a big school, and there's a big school on you stirred up. When they just little blue hooks and they scatter. They scatter, there's one. There's one. Get him up before Looney gets him. Looney's after him, I tell you that. That's a nice one. Nothing wrong with that one. That's a nice white perch right there. Nice. Alright, drop it back down. Bite a little bit. Hey, I don't see a lot of them, but they bite. As long as I catch a couple, I'm happy. I'm happy. Monticello, white perch. I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit. The camera ain't quite like I want it to be, so I'm going to adjust it a little bit. Try to get more view of the lake out in front of me. Drop it back down to the bottom where the big perch live. See what we can stumble on. See what that next bite might bring with this elusive perch. You never know. Keep on putting your nose to the wind and keep on plugging. Beautiful day like this, what a day it is. There's nothing. There's another Monticello white perch. And I mean, oh, we got off. That was a good fish. Woo, that was a good fish. Doggone, I hate to pull them up that far and they get off. Man, that was a good one. I don't know if y'all can see if that rod went double. That could have been an elusive largemouth. That could have been a largemouth bass. Come up, hit that thing, and because I pulled him up a little bit, and then he got real. Uh-oh, you know something? I ain't too sure he didn't break off. I'm not too sure he didn't break off. Oh my, no. Yeah, he did. Oh well. No, he didn't. I didn't have a two. I was thinking I had three on that one, but I didn't have a two. He didn't break off. Thank goodness. It felt light for some reason. I don't know. My imagination, I guess. I got a shrimp that ain't pulling just right. He's making me twisting my line going down. I don't like that. When you let these shrimp down, when they go down, they glide. I don't know if you ever looked at a shrimp, but their tail's sideways. Well, I think that's why they're so effective. I think when you kind of pull it, it kind of sails and glides. And that gliding and sailing with that flat tail is the key. If I was into making jigs, I believe I would make me some jigs like these shrimp tails, flat, for this kind of fishing. You know, most of them got paddle tails, and like the Mr. Krabby's got a paddle tail and a long tail to make it wiggle, which is good. That's why I like it. Solid body. They need to make a solid body jig with a, with a little bit longer tail than what the shrimp's got on it, but flat on the end. It would look weird, but I believe it would be one heck of a jig to catch these perch with, because they seem to like this gut shrimp with a flat tail. And I'd like to project with that. Maybe I need to start my own jig company and come up with what I think would be a good jig to fish with. I bet you I could come up with some humdingers. I got a lot of things in my mind about how to build a jig. I need to do that. Might be talk myself into something. But I believe if they make it, they got the wiggle tails, they got the triple ripple, they got the big old curly tails, which I can't stand them. And they got the paddle tails. Now they're coming out with little tails, like 4 or 5 tails on the end with little knobs on the end. But I've got some of them that ain't producing right either. I think we need a Mr. Crappie design with a flat tail like this gut shrimp. What I think. And come up with that might be a humdinger of a jig for a perch. Rapala used to make, I don't know if any of y'all remember this, but they used to make a bumping plug. I forget what the name was, but it had 2 tails. It was, well, it hooked in the middle. And when you yo-yoed it up, it sailed back down, always sailing away. That had a flat tail, and that's what gave it that sail. So they need to come up with rubber jigs with a flat tail to make it sail. And they really could design some kind of fin on that thing to make it really sail. Kind of like a airplane glide, but with a flat tail for the water to cause it to sail. Now that would be a good plug. Just some ideas. I don't know, the right person might see this and go to making them. I believe you had a flat tail jig. If Mr. Crappie, Wally Marshall, you need to make a flat tail jig like the gut shrimp sideways. And let's go into that deal, see what happens. I believe that would be a good jig, especially for this kind of fishing. You know, it might not be worth a darn for crab fishing, I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you right now, maybe with a beaver tail. Yeah, beaver tail sideways, that might be good. Just some ideas, because with this slow trolling for perch, when you let it back down, when I pulled it up and it goes back down, if it was to glide a little bit, but it needs to glide straight though, that's the only thing. If it goes to curling too much, then it would probably twist the line up. So, you know, it's pros and cons. I'm thinking out loud is all I'm doing. I do a lot of that. I think if there's something better I can do. I remember crappie fishing one time, and I took these jigs that they make that go on the back of spinner baits, them long skinny tails. And they got 2 of them. You hook them on the top off or tip off a spinner bait or a jig. Well, I took one of them one time. It's probably 3-inch long tail, skinny. Well, I mean, it's skinny, and wasn't no bigger than any of your rod. I hooked that thing on a crappie jig head, fishing straight down on the brush. And let me tell you, that thing killed the crappies in this lake. It did. I'd put a split shot about a foot above it with a swivel up above that to keep it from rambling, making circles and rambling. But I wore them out with that little skinny joker in the summertime. I think they thought it was a mayflower lobster. I don't know, because it was too little to be a minnow. Basically a little worm on a jig. I mean a tiny worm long, because it had that action. And I was yo-yoing it up and down. That long worm was just giving it action up and down. They nailed it, buddy. That was one of the things I come up with a long time ago. And it worked. And it probably still works. I just don't do it right now. And that sure worked on crappies. There's another white perch. He ain't that big. He's probably 3/4 pound, but guess what? He goes in the old barrel. He goes on a trip to my house. Lake Monticello, catching perch, doing what I love, me and Loney, and I see a boat coming. I see a boat coming. A couple boats out here. I don't know if he's coming here to join me or he's just riding by. Man, what a beautiful day to be alive on this earth. Enjoying Mother Nature and the things she brings. Catching a couple of white perch. I've already hammered them earlier. Hammered them. That looks like a catfish. Don't know. Could be a drug fisherman. There's another one. There's another white perch. Lake Monticello. Medium size, they're small now. Them big ones I was in earlier gone, I reckon. We'll catch a few of these small ones before we go home. Got to go home early today. Got things to attend to this afternoon. It's going to be a quick trip for me on a Monday. But, hey, all I need is just a little fix, a fish fix I call it. Kind of like drinking coffee for a lot of people. Going fishing is like my drinking coffee. Got to have it. Got to have it. Boost my morale. Got to go fishing. I spent a lot of gas riding over here about 15 miles from my house, and I live right beside Lake Murray. Like I said earlier, Lake Murray is overfished with bass tournaments, and they have took away my home lake. Took it away. Of course, on a Monday, I probably still could do all right, but they've been hammered all weekend with the bass boats. Kind of hate to even go over there when I can come over here and peaceful contents of this lake. Sit here and enjoy myself and ain't got to worry about a bunch of boats. Phew. Sometimes it gets thick over here on the weekend, but through the week it's not that many. Of course, now when the closer it gets to spring, then the catfishermen come in here. This is one of the biggest catfishing lakes in the country. I mean, they catch them in here, but I'm going to catch some of them too. I'm going to have some of them videos of catching catfish on this online for you. If it's been like prior years, it ought to be fun watching that. We might even get into some shell crackers too. I've caught some whopper shell crackers in here. There's some big ones in this lake. I caught one last year, weighed 3 pounds. To me, that's a big one. I know they catch them a lot bigger, but that's a big one for this old boy. 3 pound shell cracker. Boy, that was something. I thought I had a 20-pound catfish. Come up with a big old slab shell cracker. I tell you, you never know in this lake what you're gonna catch. You never know, and there's another Monticello bite. Oh, another Monticello white perch coming in. Coming in. I wonder how many white perch has been in this boat. Holy bum. Huh. I do believe I've got my $2,100 of money I spent for this boat back out of it. I'm ahead on that game. Of course, now I burnt that original motor that come with this boat was an Evinrude, and it had an oil injection in it, 3-cylinder. It went. I don't know if the oil injection quit working or what happened, but it burned up. So I went and bought me that little Yamaha. My next one's probably gonna be I like Yamaha now. But my buddy Troy Doss at Doss Marine sells Suzuki's. Something happened to that Yamaha, I probably had to put me a Suzuki on. Because I want to do my business with Troy, being a local Marine. Try to help him out in any way I can. Hopefully I'll get me another Yamaha. I don't know, I might end up buying a whole rig. I don't want to though, like I said, I like security. I ain't got much money, but I like it in the bank. I like to know I got a little security in case something goes wrong. A little backup, per se. Like a backup. I'm just a prime proof that you ain't got to be rich to enjoy yourself. looking at me, you ain't looking at money. You looking at somebody that knows how to enjoy himself. That's what you're looking at. My bills are paid off, but I don't have a lot of money. I didn't work at some big company that got this big retirement. I worked for myself a long time. I worked for IBEW Electrical Union for 16 years, but that retirement ain't hardly nothing. That won't pay my cell phone bill. But anyhow, hey, enough about that. We out here having fun, and the biggest reward in life is to enjoy yourself. It ain't money. It's to be able to live comfortable, come on this lake, and enjoy yourself without worries about what you're gonna do for money. And if a disaster hits, then I'll probably be worried. But right now, everything's cooking. Everything's rolling good. Thank God. You never know when it can change. Blink of an eye. Blink of an eye, everything can be taken away from you. So you better enjoy every day. Every day. Yeah, right, Loney? Loney said, I don't care what you said. Give me a fish. I want a fish. I got to eat. I guess if I was swimming out here on this lake, not knowing where my next fish was going to come from, I might be like old Loney sitting by my boat. Because the percentage goes up of getting a fish when you buy this boat. Ain't that right, Loney? The percentage goes up. He's better sitting around back there in the cove with them other Loneys. You smarter than them, ain't you, Loney? These Loneys out here are intelligent. Them other ones back there that don't come out to me, thank God they don't. I couldn't take any more. Well, I got about 6 of them that love me. And they don't forget who feeds them. Not Loney. Dude, he don't forget nothing. To have such a small head, they got a large mind. A little slow. I don't know if they're going to pick back up. I think that was that flurry this morning. That might be it for today. Like I said, I don't sit here all day and hammer fish. I hit them and go. Hit them and go. Got other things to attend to. Wind is getting up. I have seen it at times. That wind goes stirring up a little bit, things change. But I'm going to tell you, the fish I caught today were in 60 foot of water. Fish I've been catching were between 45 and 50 a little deeper. You stumble on these fish. They have left right this second. This little point, my honey hole right up here on the ridge, but as it comes out, it makes a long, narrow point before it drops off into the deeper water that where the trees are at. And I think, like I've said before, they sit in them trees, they get ready to feed, they push them shad into this hill, and that's where they feed, on the hill. And I think that's what we done this morning. I think it was just a group of fish come through, pushed them shad up on this hill, and they were feeding. And buddy, that was some fun for a little bit. Now you'll see it on one of my videos. Probably put it on before this one, so I'll be talking about something you've already seen, most likely. If I do put this one on, not catching a lot of fish on this one, might not. But yeah, talking a little bit on this one. The other one I was focusing on fishing, and I was hammering them for a little bit. But anyhow, Loney, you might go hungry today. If you hadn't already got a fish, you might be in for a bad day. Like I say, you can probably hear the wind picking up. That does change things sometimes. On the way back, I'm going to drop on one more place out there where I have caught some. But most of the time when I leave here, going home, stopping a few places, I don't catch a lot of fish. I don't know what it is about this area, but it holds these perch. Most of the time. It's been like that for 10 years. This area out here has been like that for 10 years. A lot of people's finding it out now, but it's been like this for 10 years out here. This is the place, I think, to fish. Towards now, prior years, I caught them on up the lake, so they change every year. So might not catch a fish here next year. It's the way they are. Can't figure them out. The thing about it is, toward the hot water, where it comes back in the lake with the hot water, those fish act like a different lake. Those fish up in the hot hole is probably 85 degrees or more. Well, guess what? Most fish is up there spawning in the hot hole. The ones that live at that end of the lake is pushed up the hot hole. That's why I stay away from that end of the lake. If you go down there and try to perch fish right now, you're probably catching perch that's already spawned. They'll be thin. So you got to treat this lake like different sections. And all lakes are like that. But it's different sections. Cooler water down this way. And we catching the fish, I think, that live and stay down in this area. They don't probably know nothing about that hot water up there. The ones up there, they, I think they can probably sense the hot water and they head to the hot water. And I think that's what's happening to all the crappies. They up there in the hot water. And you got to wait till summertime. And crappies might be like perch too. You got some down here that don't know anything about that hot water. So if you want to catch a crappie in this lake, I believe now you need to be at this end of the lake, because you can't get in the hot water up there where the crappies really are legally. You get shot down with the guards. That's probably out of guessing. So you got to stay out of that zone, that mile area of the plant. And in that mile area is where all your warm water is, and that's where your crappies is going to be, up in that hot hole. They're probably up there thick. What's up in that end is up there thick in that lake. Had a bite. But so you basically, if you want to catch crappies, you don't have to come down here around March and April and fish for them down here, because they're going to be already laid out up there in that hot water. You can't get to them. So the best opportunity to catch crappies in this lake in the spring, I believe, is away from that hot water. Is what I believe. A lot of times I'll fish on brush and points and stuff in the summertime. It's so hot you can't stand it though. And yo-yo and jigs on little brush and little points and humps where they come out of that hot water, because it gets over 100 degrees in that thing in the summertime, so they can't stay in there. So they'll all feed out of that thing and swim out of there and go to a little cooler water. At least that's what they've done in years past. But I'm gonna let you go. We're not catching anything. I want to talk a little bit and show you a couple, but glad you could be with me. Steve Comalander, Lake Monticello.